again. We're taking them all. Oh my God! What? Welcome back to the OCE Open Series Gauntlet Finals. We're not going Grand Finals anymore. It's a Gauntlet. It is the Finals. This is Yummy Cheeseman. This is Courier Lord. And I am Hysterics. And now we're into the thick of it. Our top four, Tainted Minds, taking on Legacy, who are the superstars.
And this was the top four we kind of expected at the start of the season. We knew Legacy had a long run that they could make. And now it's Tainted Minds sitting in as the invited team trying to take down the upstarts.
Yeah, they are the upstarts coming through. It's like, Sirix, you're meant to be in fourth, buddy. Stay where you're sitting and don't try climb the ladder.
I think it's really fitting as well that Tainted Minds are the ones that are blocking the road further for Legacy, because they were the ones that came through last year as that brand new team, and now they're preventing a brand new team potentially.
It's going to be an interesting day going forward to see where this one goes, because you have that great story of Legacy powering their way through, and then Tainted Minds were the dark horse of last year. So ultimately, though, whoever wins has to verse Chiefs, and that is like versing a final boss before versing a final boss.
That's harsh.
It is such a hard run for Legacy Esports. They're now into the thick of teams that have RLCS experience and consistently place in our top three. So from Legacy to become a top 4 to a top 3, it begins now.
This is where it begins the upsets. For Legacy, if they get all three of the next matches, if they were to win any of them, is an upset. But that's the kind of thing that we're expecting to see this season.
And they're a strong team, right? We did see in the offseason they won tons of tournaments. Little ones, but they won a lot. So it's not like they're a team that's not going to play well, or it's far outside of expectations. We could have seen any of the top 4 teams rearranged.
And Tainted Minds, they have had a great season so far, but they've also had some, low points as well. They didn't want to lose their match against Darksider, but they did take down the Chiefs.
Yeah, and they had some net issues as well, having to do that substitutions with Jules and then CJ dropping out, which does affect their stats to a degree. So for them, it is a bit fuzzy.
CJ, he's had a huge season so far. One of the top goal scorers in the region, top scoring as well. I think he's just behind CJM, but now he has to carry the CJ mantle all the way through.
And he's got the shot percentage to do it as well, not just the number of goals. But I think it's whether or not Legacy have the consistency going forward to go up against the aggression of Tainted Minds, because we saw that when they were on the opposite end of being bumped and getting pushed around in the first game against Retirement, they got destroyed. And against Tainted, that's just assumed.
And Tainted Minds in weeklies as well. They've been reverse sweeping Legacy. That's been the Legacy curse. And I think if Legacy lose that first game, then it might be even more difficult for them, because they're expected for Tainted Minds to be the ones to really rise up in the series.
Yeah, so for me, I reckon there's going to be it feels bad against Sirix. I was wrong last time, but I got to be right eventually.
But Korea, I mean, this is a Tainted Minds that doesn't have the core roster from last year, which is the team that went to RLCS. It is February now as well. You have Jules in the roster. Does it make a difference when you're looking at who would win this series, or do you still have faith?
I still have faith. I reckon the Tainted Minds are probably going to pull this. The fact that they're playing so well, even though they haven't hit like that prime 100% of the potential they have, I think it's still good enough, and I think stylistically it's a good matchup against Legacy.
Coming through as Tainted Minds, coming in third seed. That was a bit of a surprise for them. They did a lot better last year, and they're not going to be happy with that result. But they're on the rise. They're ready to go through, so I'm with Tainted Minds as well.
So Tainted Minds, Tainted Minds. However, normally I would back Tainted Minds, and you know that I love the character of CJ. CJ
hates to lose.
But no. Legacy are making the run. Legacy are making the goddamn run right here, and they will continue up until they get to Darksider. That is just what I think. Or maybe Chiefs. We'll talk about that a little bit down the track. But I honestly...
They'll continue up until they no longer continue up.
Until you can't go up any further. Till they get first.
Chiefs is like is that the ceiling? No one goes above the Chiefs.
I mean, Chiefs in regular league play, that's like a different story. Chiefs in like when it matters, that's a worse story for anyone going up against them. That's something we'll talk about a little bit later. But Legacy have had the dream run so far. Now, Tainted Minds, this is like that extra step above. That's that step that is like double the size of a step.
Yeah, like Tainted Minds right now, they're like sleeping on the floor. But if they go that one step further, it's like being in their nice, comfortable bed at home.
But that is a really hard thing to achieve. And sometimes you got to sleep on the floor. That's just the way the world works.
Sometimes you go to IKEA and just get kicked out later in the day, take up too much room. You have to sleep on an air mattress, is that right?
That's exactly right. Tainted Minds taking on Legacy Esports. Game 1 now. And Tainted Minds are going to be a much different opponent. And you see there, calculated.
A big start for Tainted Minds. They are the aggressive team. And you just see that hitting past Cyrix and getting this angle past Delusion. I think Jules is one of those players that we need to really watch out on how he plays on attack.
That was precise. That was calm. And Tainted Minds start off with a big bang in Game 1. And the dream run for Legacy, you have to ask if it can continue. CJ now over to Kami. That should be a goal. A second one not found. Jules tries to firm it up. Unfortunate, but Tainted Minds still have control. Now the passing goes over to Legacy Esports. CJ loses the ball from Delusion. Close call.
That's very close, and Legacy Esports, they're only getting one opportunity to attack before it gets turned around. And that is not how Legacy play. They want to get some pressure. They would want to finish it off with a pass.
Legacy the pass over to Cyrix now. See if they can do that again. Over the corner, Siki, the angle, well adjusted. Jules goes up for the ball. Kami now trying to get the clear, but it still stays in their side. Defending from Tainted Minds, the pressure keeps building. Legacy Esports still have to get that goal to equalize. Kami now for the dribble. Taken away. Jules again. Up for the ball. Second touch. Third not found. Tainted Minds leave it for Kami. One defender from Legacy Esports. CJ hangs back. Jules is here as well. He'll clean up the ball. Angled in very, very nicely. CJ has had great performances in our league play. With the highest stats as well, as usual. 3 minutes 30 remaining. Legacy Esports finally getting the ball clear. Delusion comes in, sets up nicely. Siki tries to finish it off, but defended well by Tainted Minds.
You see, a Legacy need to get some kind of cross-field play because Tainted Minds are really trusting each other. They're backing each other up, and it's not going to be the case of getting past just one player.
Look at the speed. CJ comes in for a second. Back over to Jules. Jules leaves it. Kami now. 50. Siki takes the ball through. Drops in front. Jules now clearing it away again. Legacy Esports. You can see the difference in power. I mean, Tainted Minds. Such an experienced roster. Dangerous roster. Legacy now looking for the center. They've found it. Siki with the angle. Cleared away by Kami. Brick wall in front of this Tainted Minds goal. And Legacy, they're starting to learn a little bit more about it. Burst them in the weeklies, yes, but there's so much more on the line here, and nerves will build up. Siki now for the touch. Kami again for the save.
Speaking of nerves, Tainted Minds have gone to RLCS. They've gone to the World Championship, the ultimate hot grill of pressure. While Legacy Esports, I think seeing Cyrix, he's an experienced player, but they have Delusion and Siki who have a lot less.
That pop-up, very nicely done. So no pressure building, but Tainted Minds still. Siki setting it up. Ball taken away. Interception from Jules. Sets it up for CJ. CJ Delusion gets there first, but the touch is quite light and hits right back down where it started. Kami now going cross-field. Doesn't have any boost here, so should just pass away to CJ. CJ, who locks it in.
That is CJ angle. The Tainted Minds 1-2 off the wall. And the shot was completely perfect. Crossbar and down for the 2-0 lead. We said coming into this series that Legacy Esports need to win that first game.
Yep, it would be the difference in strength and showing it on the field. That's what Legacy really need to do. But they haven't been a Game 1 team, so why should they start now? Another argument to add into the mix. 1 minute 40 remaining. Tainted Minds holding strong in Game 1. Delusion now taking the ball, dribbling it forward. 1 minute 30. Siki losing control. Kami comes up to the ball. Cyrix gets there first, angled into the corner. Jules pinches it out. Still centered through. CJ rotates back. These clean rotations is what you didn't see from the other teams. Not as clean as Tainted Minds.
They know how each other play, and especially with CJ. Kami knows exactly how he's going to commit to the ball, go aggressive even on defense, and allows Kami to stay back and wait.
Still there. Jules back on the defense. Cyrix here as well. CJ's rotated back. Tainted Minds holding 2 goals strong. Delusion now with the center.
Oh.
Save again.
That was beautiful by Kami. The fact that he got up to that and pinched it out to the side. Brilliant defense from Tainted Minds. And that's off what is one of the best attacks coming through at the moment for Legacy.
So if that's all they got in Game 1, it's definitely going to be it. 30 seconds remaining. Delusion Maybe one more opportunity. Hits the corner. Kami follows it up. And Legacy used to having a bit of freedom in this corner, but it doesn't look like Tainted Minds want to give it to them. CJ clears it away, and that could just be it.
It feels like every single game, Legacy Esports, or every single series, Legacy Esports are forced to push it up a notch, to go that inch faster, because the teams they're playing are also upping that pace each time. Legacy Esports, they haven't had the chance to pass this game. They haven't had those opportunities, and we know that they really need to pass the score.
Well, game one goes to Tainted Minds. And whether it is the same as other series, whether the Legacies turn on after game one or even after game two, we'll find out. But that was a good showing from Tainted Minds, a clean showing, and really expectations being hit nail on game one.
I think the real expectations as well was met at the start of that match, where Tainted Minds were the one holding the pressure. But in the second half, Legacy did have pressure. They had so much of the shots. They had so much of the possession of the ball, but they were never getting the opportunity to cross-field it. And that's kind of a little bit of the Tainted Minds style. They're really good at intercepting.
Yeah, and Legacy Esports, when their backs against the wall, though, I do not count them out. I mean, I'm not trying to be biased, but I'm just saying that Legacy...
Unbiased caster.
No. I love Legacy, but I love Tainted Minds as well. Right? Just to balance things out.
I love all the teams.
But it's international experience against a team that has struggled to go past top four in the past. And you've got Delusion, who's a rookie in essence as well.
Yeah, and you could see the difference between Tainted Minds and the previous teams. Their Tainted Minds, the shot from CJ crossbar and down, it was perfectly placed. Jules had the angle right at the start. It's their striking ability that made a really strong defense open up. On the opposite side, Legacy haven't yet been able to really open up the goals, and game two is where we've seen them change their playstyle, see them pass more in the last two series. So that's their chance this series to bring it back.
And that's when we see Cyrix come to his outstanding performance that we've seen in the past two series as well.
Well, in these series, Cyrix has been playing that sort of third man, ready to take the pass, and Siki and Delusion have been getting the awesome crossfields, but they're not as experienced. They're maybe not used to playing under the pressure.
Well, pressure the name of the game for Tainted Minds. They don't care. Game two. Kami now in a great position. Legacy still holding control of the ball. Siki off this corner. It's where we see it get played the majority of the time. CJ will match the clear. Tainted Minds know exactly where they're going if they can win this series. Do Legacy close their book early? I don't think so. Kami, ball's been saved away. Was set up nicely. But Tainted Minds, unfortunately, will not find the first goal.
You really see the domination from Tainted Minds on the walls. That is where they're getting up, they're getting the follow-up, they're getting every single touch without being intercepted by Legacy, who are more controlling on the ground.
Up comes Jules. And keeping the ball high. Tainted Minds feel like they've read this perfectly. Delusion now centering the ball. CJ clears it over to the other side, and Delusion does not have a say. Siki hanging back here. Cyrix bumping through midair. Kami actually angling the shot. CJ for the finisher. Delusion with the save. Jules goes over the top of it. Almost rolls in itself, and the attack comes through, but Tainted Minds do not succeed.
4 shots, and Legacy were just in the right position for each of them, but it's not going to be over. CJ, another one gets saved out by Delusion. That was a 5-shot attack coming out from Tainted Minds, and unlike previous games, they were able to hold on.
So Legacy Esports, you got to hope, but yeah, question mark there. Kami will get the first.
After so many good saves, the net was just completely opened up with Siki trying to go at that. Delusion thought that he had it, and it just goes to show the Legacy trust can sometimes bite them
in the backside. Correct. Tainted Minds.
Yeah, I was avoiding saying that.
I'll do it. Oh, Legacy. There's so many compliments we're just throwing at them there, but now Tainted Minds again. All sorts. Tainted Minds take a 2-0 lead.
That is a very quick turnaround, and just CJ, he's powered through the entire length of the pitch. And Cyrix was not ready for the follow-up. He was taking that slow.
And really, we want to look at Tainted Minds' performance in this series because we want to see where they sit on the ladder. And of course, the next 2 series, if they can make it, will tell us exactly that. But against Legacy Esports, they're showing a very, very dominant playstyle. And Legacy now, 3 minutes remaining in game 2. Could be the clean sweep that we've been looking to see.
You have to bring it up, though. If Legacy come 4th, if they lose this match, then the Cyrix 4th place curse continues through 2018. The disappointment continues in 2018. And I don't know, I don't think I could take that heartbreak, let alone Cyrix.
Oh, Cyrix would be in absolute tears. I mean, Shatters, I would be at least, but Cyrix doesn't want to be placed there. Now Legacy getting some attack. That's what we want to see. Demolition come and stop it immediately. That was onto the Delusion. CJ now setting up himself. Playing it slow, looking for the dribble, pops it up. It's going to be set up for Jules, but should just be cleared away here. Jules, center field, actually going to hit the backboard. No one there to respond in time. Jules goes up, not high enough. CJ for the shot, and it's cleared away by Legacy.
Legacy, they've got the defense now. They've got the offense. Siki all the way down, and that is the 1-2. It didn't require a pass, and that is the change-up for Legacy to score that goal.
What a confidence booster there for Legacy Esports. 2 minutes, 5 seconds. They've got plenty of time. And Tainted Minds, maybe not so confident with Legacy starting to amp up in the series.
Yeah, Tainted Minds can't afford to let Legacy play like this. We saw them grow throughout each series so far. So if it goes the distance, you have to say that Legacy will be the team to potentially outgrow Tainted Minds.
Well, Cyrix now left wing, trying to read. Tainted Minds just that little bit better. Delusion hitting the ball. That was a crucial clear. 1 minute 45. Jules now hanging around this corner. Legacy always seem to knock it into this right-hand corner. Jules popping the ball, using a bit of boost, getting creative with it. Cyrix for the save. Kami now sets it up for CJ's shot. Saved away.
These really close passes coming out from Tainted Minds. Very difficult to defend, but we've seen it. Legacy are actually able to defend it.
But for how long? Kami missing the second one. CJ's here as well. The shot up. In comes Delusion. The touch. CJ over to Siki. He nails it in.
The tiebreaker, Siki has stepped up his game. He's in all the right places. And he has finished this one off over the top of the Tainted Minds defense. Very difficult to score on Kami, but Siki is able to do it.
The faith in Legacy is not misplaced, and especially now, Legacy have the time that they need. And it looks like they've started to take a real good step in this series. A minute remaining on the defensive still. They need to coordinate this one out because a bit of freedom does not do well. Kami leaves the ball, hangs around the corner all the way back. CJ comes in, loses the intercept, and does not win that challenge. Therefore, Legacy, they've got the demolition. And through the cloud, Tainted Minds remain victorious for now. But a tie is not victorious. 45 seconds remaining. Tainted Minds need to get themselves back on this board. The center away.
See, I said that Legacy needed to pass to be able to score, but they're showing a lot of creativity here. They're getting the bumps. They're getting interesting double touches and quick counterattacks, and that's what's leading to the goals. They've adapted really well.
Being hard to read, Legacy Esports could take it out in such a structured team as Tainted Minds. The center again. Legacy are one up.
And that is off Siki. He's been involved in all 3 goals. Just passing that into the middle. CJ could not win the challenge. And Legacy Esports have brought it back from a 2-0 deficit.
Definitely convinced that game 1 for Legacy Esports is a warm-up in every series. Now, that sounds stupid, but you have to question.
The first game and a half now.
Yeah. Legacy now 10 seconds remaining, looking to clear the ball through, and they may have just played it well enough. Kami, one opportunity. Still looking to push the ball up, has a full tank of boost. Should be hitting the ground soon. Quick demolition. They just need to get it out of here because Tainted Minds want to push this forward. They let it drop, and Legacy have equalized it again.
Against Tainted Minds of all teams, this is the chance for Legacy. We'd almost ruled them out halfway through that match. And Legacy Esports, they've adapted, they're changing, they're improving, they're growing. Almost say that they could become a tree soon.
When you hang out with hysterics that much, which is me, you sometimes adapt hystericsisms. And Yummy, you're such a smart guy. I'd hate to see you go down that path.
Legacy Esports, they're really putting their roots into this series. They're drinking deep.
Yep. Look,
Maybe they'll turn into ants and just walk all over the top of Tainted Minds.
maybe they will. I mean,
Maybe
at
I'm
this rate,
going a little bit crazy.
at this rate.
Maybe mine's a little bit tainted.
Yeah. What else you got?
I'm done. I'm sorry.
legacy
I
over.
apologize to every single person in Oceania right
Who
now.
just has to listen to two hysterics go at it. Hey, Legacy Esports, on a different note, this is their time to shine. I've said this in the previous 2 series. Love Decks, that was their time to shine. Retirement Home, their time to shine.
But
They're hot.
Can they make the climb? That is the major question. And Legacy Esports, they're the team that are just plowing through. We thought that would happen earlier on in league play, that they'd come out as even potentially first seeds.
Yeah.
They fell down and they're bringing themselves back up.
Well, the climb, it has begun. They're definitely on their way. And we asked who, and we questioned, would it be Love Decks having a good day? Would Retirement Home continue the journey for them? But Legacy seem to want to do it themselves. And with confidence boosts like that game too, now Tainted Minds have to go against a team that has read, decided, and deciphered the play style. Legacy Esports Game 3, can they continue?
One thing I do know is that Tainted Minds will not take that loss to heart. They'll be able to quickly turn this around, hype each other up, and be ready to go once again.
But for Legacy Esports, the attack begins immediately. Shot after shot now coming through. A big miss there for Jules. Opens it for Legacy.
That is not the mistake that a team wanting to go back to RLCS can make. Just Jules going completely wide. Cyrix to finish it off. And I'll be honest, I think old Cyrix would not have got that, but the new, confident, attacking Cyrix stuck to his guns.
And the real champion here of Legacy Esports, Siki and Cyrix working together is such a great duo. Everyone's still backing Tainted Minds with a majority poll vote there, but honestly, at the moment, I'd start flippity-flopping over to Legacy. Another moment! What is happening from Tainted Minds?
The structure is just completely crumbling. Delusion the shot. It was the bump. I thought CJ was randomly flying, but Legacy Esports getting creative once again.
So Legacy Esports doubting really nothing at the moment. They're not doubting the win. They're not doubting their competition, but they're definitely feeling strong. 2 goals up. How do Tainted Minds bring it back?
And that's when Legacy are most scary, when they're confident. That is the moment that they can take down any team in Oceania.
Kami coming through center field. The shot from Delusion. CJ saves it away, but it does not stop just there. Legacy Esports, the underdogs no more. Cyrix centers the ball. Again, it keeps getting pushed down the field. Up he goes. Off the backboard there, Jules. Center the ball away. Delusion brings it back, and the clears are not working. Legacy are finding freedom here. They're definitely finding footing.
Wow, the passes are coming out, the backboards as well. Legacy Esports are doing a great job on attack, and Tainted Minds are only really just holding on.
Legacy Esports 2-0, 3:30 remaining. Kami playing it slow out of this corner, clears it away, hits up to Cyrix. And really, that last game was such a confidence booster. Legacy looking more comfortable than ever. Missing there from Jules, unfortunately, on the backboard.
That is 2 from Jules. That is very uncharacteristic. He's had 2 major mistakes. He's got the chance to redeem himself, and he does. The shot through 2, threading the needle and finding the hole in the defense. Jules, he needed to do that.
Really
he was
did.
the one that was being really troubling for Tainted Minds, and I think that'll be able to bring him back.
So Jules making up for his previous mistakes. Tainted Minds now a goal away. But Legacy Esports still hold the cards. That was 1 attack from Tainted Minds. Legacy looking to make many more. Siki now on the defense, hits it around the corner. CJ rotates around. Kami here as well. Delusion, the ball will be passed out to Jules. And Tainted Minds starting to push forward, getting the clears. This is set up for Kami, but he does not commit. Delusion clears it away. Kami counterattacks. Cyrix responds. And immediately Legacy Esports back on the attack. Jules, demolition there was onto Cyrix, so that'll stop the 1-2-3. But 2:30 remaining. Legacy still want that 2-goal lead, so you got to bring it back somehow. Jules there from the roof. He's really making up for it. We're getting closer for Tainted Minds. They're setting themselves up for these shots. Hits the crossbar, gets sent away, and now the passing play and the counter-attack.
The quick 1-2. Sirix over to Siki all the way down the pitch, and Siki had just landed. The Tainted Minds, they went aggressive. They took the risk, and it didn't pay off.
And at the moment, Legacy are just having these 1-2 how do you do's.
And that's what you normally expect from Tainted Minds. They're the ones that get the quick passes straight to each other. A disconnect has happened. Siki is out of the game for now, and Tainted Minds might be able to take advantage of this opportunity.
That's really not good, and it is a shame because Legacy Esports are 2 goals up. But a 2 versus 3, they still managed to hold on, and Tainted Minds, there's really nothing you can do here if you're Legacy Esports. Siki's actually back in, and Legacy is still having shots. Sirix around here. You got to assume that Siki has recovered by now and is back onto the pitch. 1 minute 40 remaining. The shots there from Legacy. Siki may have left, but it does not matter.
It does not, as Tainted Minds, they really wanted to score off that. They went aggressive, but it did not matter. With Delusion just reading the corner perfectly, popping that one in, and who would have thought Legacy would be 4-1 up against Tainted Minds?
This is absolutely one of the best underdog stories. Legacy were not newbies coming in, but I tell you what, against Tainted Minds, with international experience, a team that has been growing ever since the end of last year, Legacy are putting up a damn good fight. And Siki now for the 5th shot. Still applying pressure onto Tainted Minds.
Tainted Minds, they're starting to be backed in the corner. Even in just this game, they have to start thinking, can we make a 3-goal comeback and then make another game out of it? Legacy Esports just taking hold of this series.
1 minute left remaining. Looks like they still hold all the cards. Delusion off the wall. This is what they can do. They can play for time, continue control. Tainted Minds want to figure this out and fast. Legacy secure this game, which it looks like they will. Oh, the shot again. Legacy trying to finish it up. Then Tainted Minds are still into a corner, and they've got to understand that this is a Legacy Esports that are getting better and better each series, so the next game is not going to be any easier.
A Legacy Esports that could potentially knock down and knock out our previous RLCS team, an international team, an invited team into the competition. They're only 1 game away from doing it and making 3 series wins in a row.
And breaking the curse, Yummy.
Yes.
Breaking Sirix's curse. Gets himself out of that grudge of a 4th position. Legacy Esports, they'll secure it with that last one, and they are on fire.
They're finding each other. They know what they're doing. Sirix is pushing up. Siki is controlling the midfield, and Delusion is just wherever he needs to be. Legacy Esports, they have on days and off days, it seems, and today is their day.
They've literally used like 5 1,500 watt bulbs. They're on. Legacy Esports now 1 game away, match point against the international Tainted Minds.
You got to remember that they lost to Tainted Minds 3-0 earlier in this season.
Yeah.
And now they've already swung it back to a 2-1. They have 1 more game to go, but you can never, ever count out Tainted Minds.
You can't. They're a quick team. They adapt on the fly, and they are so scary in the heat of the moment. Almost like the Chiefs in the fact that when it really counts, they step up. But Tainted Minds, a fun-loving team here. Maybe the third, maybe the adaptation with the new roster is hurting them a little bit more than, I guess, earlier in the season.
I think if you look at both of these teams, Legacy Esports, they're sitting there going, okay, what do we need to change? What mistakes did we make? How do we need to play? Where the Tainted Minds are like, let's reverse sweep it. Let's go. We can do it. And I think that's actually an advantage for Tainted Minds. They're actually able to go a lot further and hype themselves up in a completely different way to just changing their play style.
You know, I'm a little bit concerned here as well because this is the off season, yes, but we go straight into the championship season next as well. I mean, Legacy Esports, a new contender.
Why are you concerned? I mean, Tainted Minds...
Oh, I'm concerned for Tainted Minds.
Tainted
not
Minds
for Legacy.
are the team that, you know, obviously wanted to get to the grand final and say, yes, we're a top 2 team in the region. Yes, we can go back to RLCS, but they're going to have 9 weeks to work on it. in the next season. They're going to have time to really gut it out. They haven't had a lot of time during this season, had 3 weeks to figure out their new rotation with Jules. And Legacy Esports, they're right now making a stand saying, yes, we're going to qualify. Yes, we're going to go all the way.
Yes, we can. Legacy Esports.
Obama Esports.
Been saying it in their sleep. They have one opportunity, one shot to get this. And here it is off the bat. The first shot goes to Legacy Esports. And that's a cracker of a start if I've ever seen one.
That is a big start for Legacy, already putting Tainted Minds on the back foot and draining them of most of their boost.
Well, rotating back, Tainted Minds now have a bit of breathing room, and we've been talking about how Tainted Minds can go. The reverse sweep, does it begin now? Delusion sending the ball out. Jules brings it back, but this is going to be followed by Siki. It's actually a pass over to Kami. CJ now hits the ball, centered, over to Jules. This is the shot he needs to redeem. He's done it once, can he do it again? No, Cyrix gets the ball out. Legacy Esports, they need this next game. It'll be exciting. We'll have a new top 3 team. The first time in a while, actually.
Something that Legacy have been doing really well at is just draining CJ of his boost, putting him out of position, because he's a player who relies on 100 boost, and he's the player on Tainted Minds that score all their goals.
And that's why CJ comes off strong, and you can see he was charging down this field into the right place at the right time.
Just powering that through. Not as fast as it could have been, actually, but sneaks it into the right position behind the Legacy Esports defender. CJ, one of the top goal scorers of the season. He needs to be the one to step up and bring this series back.
Well, that is a good start, but can they maintain it? CJ now looking for the double tap, finds the third, the triple unable. Jules here as well, could not solidify that one. Cyrix going for the dribble. Will lose control of the ball. Kami to follow suit. Now off the wall, denied. Legacy Esports looking to get creative once again. Cyrix now, the pass over. It goes in! That is what we want to see!
Siki to Delusion, 1 and 2. But look how good Siki is at his recovery. How fast he plays. He got it. He took out 2 players on the Tainted Minds defense. This is the golden boy. He's done it.
This is the golden team, Yummy. They've almost done it. 1-1. 3:30 remaining. Legacy Esports, just when you think, Tainted Minds might just bring this all the way back. They're holding strong, and they do not look the least bit concerned. CJ now centering the ball. CJ doesn't get the shot. In fact, it's sent away. Delusion losing the ball. Cyrix here as well. CJ was waiting around, tries to get the bump. Kami now for the light touch. Delusion here as well. 3 people in front of net. The counter shot. Goal square. Ball lands. CJ gets it away from there, but Siki comes in. The pass over to Delusion. Hits the corner. Cyrix in as well. Delusion. He hangs back. He rotates over. No one's in net.
Oh,
it's
Kami.
a close save from Kami.
That is a big turnaround for Kami, but it's going to lead to Jules to put that one in. 1 player on each team. That's all it takes to get a goal. And Jules, he's been practicing his ones. He's got his dribbles going, and he finds it past the entire Legacy defense.
And well played by Jules. Gives Tainted Minds that 1 goal advantage again. The Legacy Esports, they know how to equalize. Let's see how we go. Cyrix off the kickoff. CJ there for the defense.
Legacy have a lot of advantage off the kickoff. They've won every single one so far, and even got attacking opportunities off each one. It's only a matter of time before they get a kickoff goal.
Jules smashes the ball, tries to hit net. Cyrix now, I'm not sure. Just rotates around a little bit. Siki from the corner. Delusion, the ball's going to be centered here into Cyrix. He leaves it, doesn't have enough boost to really get there quick enough. Delusion off the wall, CJ again. 2 minutes remaining. And Tainted Minds, there's another shot. Almost hits corner. But it doesn't, unfortunately. Kami's in here. Jules, the ball's going to go and drop in front of net. CJ's here to dunk it.
That is the accuracy we come to expect from CJ. Jules off the corner, and Kami was running through, just forcing all of the defense to jump. It was a 3-man effort. What's been really surprising for me is that Kami's had to be that player to stay back, to get all the saves, to be the goalkeeper, while Jules and CJ are cutting forward and being as aggressive as possible.
Legacy Esports, a minute 40. It is not looking too good for them in game number 4. Tainted Minds maybe finally figuring this out. Off the corner, Jules now again for the second touch. CJ to recover, gets it over one but not the other. Good bump, and Kami actually bumps his own teammate. I'll take it back.
It was a good bump if it was on the other team, and
Would have been.
it might lead to a goal. It's
Oh, there
going
it is.
in. Cyrix to finish. You can never count this Legacy Esports team out. That bump goes through, the demo at the end, and now Cyrix to finish it off with the tightest of margins.
So, 1 goal. And you can never count them out. I definitely agree with that. It's something in the past I have been guilty of doing with Legacy. Kami now looking for the Devo. Will not find it. The angle not right. CJ to finish. Tainted Minds were looking for that 2-goal advantage, and the security has been taken away again. Ball being dribbled up. Delusion here. Cyrix now actually going to be half on the defensive duty. CJ will reach up to this and he'll put some speed back on the ball. Jules will try and hit that backboard and does. It's touch. It's a great pass. Jules trying to drop it in. Saved away. Legacy Esports now trying to push the ball up. 45 seconds remaining. Delusion doesn't get the boost. Jules takes it away and now he has pressure on the ball.
That was the last of their boost. Siki was the only one left with any, though. Cyrix has to pick it up, and they finally are going to have the opportunity to get this out. Legacy Esports aren't going to be able to attack until they get any boost. And Tainted Minds doing a great job right now of controlling it.
Well, the ball is just going to drop down. Great save away by Delusion, but I'm not sure what it is going to do. At this stage of the game, Legacy have one more attack, but as you said, the boost is so little.
They have it now. They've picked it up. They've found the small boost pads, and all they need to do is get on to attack. This is their last chance with the pass coming through.
Kami, great on the defense. Jules helps it hit the ground. CJ trying to do the same, but Legacy aren't able to rotate back here. Delusion just pops it up, and Tainted Minds here should be able to just knock it down, taking us to a Game 5. Legacy Esports maybe have just recovered a bit more boost. I take it all back. It's near the backboard. The shot is there! I take it all back!
They have done it! Legacy Esports reversed the entire game on top of Tainted Minds' head. Twice in a row now. The 0-second goal. Clutch moments from the rookie player stepping up under so much heat.
And I was questioning it. Then I saw Siki. I saw his boost, and I saw what he could do with it. Legacy now take it to overtime. Tainted Minds better be scared. It is match point again for Legacy Esports.
This could be the crushing moment. We saw Tainted Minds last season against Scylla Esports. It was a similar moment, and it only went down to one mistake that's haunted them forever.
30 seconds into overtime, just about. Legacy now on the attack. Kami in defense. Match point for Legacy. Take it to Game 5. Tainted Minds can do this. Great touch from Cyrix. That'll help clear it away, but Kami centers the ball over to Jules, who loses possession. Now everyone from Legacy is pushing up on this field. 40 seconds, but watch Delusion. Watch where he sits. He's coming in now. The ball hangs around net. Siki does not find it. Cyrix will try and hit it around, but Jules should be able to clear this. Has the shot. Siki sends it away.
This is going to be a tense overtime. Once it always gets past the 1 minute, you expect it to go a lot further, as neither of these teams taking any risks. Just holding a stay back and be not scored on rather than try to score.
Jules has the angle, the shot there. Legacy Esports a minute 15. Siki gets demoed. Doesn't open anything up for Tainted Minds just yet. In fact, he'll be back as this ball hits Delusion. Kami and CJ, they're in the center there. Jules hangs back as well. Siki pass over, upfield, looking for the 1-2-3. Jules to recover. Siki off this corner. Cyrix here as well, passing it upfield. And for Legacy Esports, this is now their moment. The third, not here just yet.
Yeah, if it was not overtime, you'd expect Cyrix to always be in that third position, waiting for the pass. This is a chance for Jules, but it goes wide.
Fortunate but great defense coming through from Cyrix. Ball pinched up and then down. Kami not going to get control. Delusion up for the ball. Over to Siki. The passing play here. Legacy are looking down the barrel of being a top 3 team in OCE, but they have to secure this overtime. 2 minutes now as we get closer and closer to a second game. Cyrix off the roof. It'll be centered. The ball's over the top. There it is. The opening for Legacy. Delusion tries to finish it. He misses the ball. A third shot, but Legacy can't get it.
Sirix went so high on that one, and it looks like it might get turned around. Delusion just clutching that out with the boost. But that could be the game-losing moment with Sirix having that open net.
The pressure really building up now, but Sirix has just picked up Boost Yummy. This is the passing play off the backboard, trying to finish through Delusion. Unable to find it a second time, but Legacy, it's really building up for them now. As in comes Sirix, hits the angle, it's taken away. Delusion looking as well. 2 minutes 50 remaining. Sorry, 2 minutes 50 into overtime. Sicky's here. This is going to have to be clutch.
And this is when mental fortitude really comes in. Legacy Esports have been playing for 2 series and almost finishing up their 3rd, and now they're in a 3-minute overtime.
Sirix reaches up for the ball, hits the back of Jules. 3 minutes, as you said. CJ now centering the ball for Kami! And we're into game 5.
Tainted Minds, they were dangling from the edge. They were on the tightrope. They were walking across, and now they just managed to get to the other side. They'll be breathing a sigh of relief and understanding that they can go into game number 5 and take out the series.
The lion that is Legacy waits with bated breath. Legacy Esports narrowly missing out there. Game 5 is a whole different story. It now puts them at equal footing. First time, I guess you could say, in the series. Tainted Minds take game 1. Yes, that was an advantage. And there was a 1-all. Yes, as well. But game 5 is now do or die.
That game was just full of moments. You know, it's one of those games that I think I'll remember for a long time. There was the 0-second overtime where CJ could have got that away and won them the game. There was the Sirix open net where nerves got to him. He didn't have boost and he took that ball high. And it all ended with one miraculous play from Tainted Minds after almost 4 minutes. That is a big game. It's a long-running day now for Legacy. And if I could see anyone bowing out under the fact that they don't have any time, any 3-minute breaks, it's going to be Legacy. So we'll have to see if they can hold on.
Last game, that was a 8-minute long game in the
9-minute almost.
Almost. Legacy have been playing so much so far, in such a short time. Now they've just got to push it through.
Well, this is almost like LAN finals, right?
Yeah.
Where the whole point is you're playing all day, 6 or 7 hours, and that is Legacy Esports right now, up against a more fresh Tainted Minds.
Game 5 now. It is do or die for both of these teams. Do Tainted Minds take their position rightfully at the top 3? And can they go further? For Legacy Esports, it's about getting rid of this 4th place curse. The ball centered up now. Legacy Esports looking to punish Sirix Sicky on this right-hand wing. Kami up for the ball. Doesn't really get a good clear. Jules looking to supplement that and does well.
You got to remember as well, whoever wins this series has to then go on against the Chiefs. It's a big match and a big shot from Jules.
Tainted Minds coming out of the barrel strong. Goal number 1 within 30 seconds. And Jules just dunks that one down. So Tainted Minds off to a cracker of a start in game 5.
And some more trust as well from Kami over to Jules. I think with Jules struggling earlier in this match, they weren't getting those big crossfield passes. Well, now those are starting up.
Tainted Minds in a good position, but the defense, oh no! That opens it up for Legacy.
And they were ready to pounce. 2 people right there, ready for this touch as Tainted Minds, Kami, ends up putting that one center and allowing Legacy to tie up the game.
And a great read from Legacy Esports to find that. I mean, there's 2 sides of the same coin. 1-all. Legacy Esports back in a good position. The shot again, Delusion looking to follow it through, but stolen away. Sirix a little bit too close for that one, and we'll have to leave it for Sicky, who sends it over to CJ. Kami now the shot. Unfortunately, he does not find the second. Jules brings it back around, playing very, very high here. Delusion.
Oh!
Unable to save.
Jules just snuck it behind the entire defense. Have a look at him take it up over the top, fake out the last, and then pinch it against the ground. What a play by Jules.
And that's when they need it. Tainted Minds, a minute past, 1 goal up. And Jules with the 1v2 will put Tainted Minds in a very good position.
We talked about Jules and how he adds to this roster. It's all raw offense, raw power, as he's just got goal after goal. time and time again.
Tainted Minds back on the defensive, but it won't matter. There's a confidence boost in the air. Legacy Esports in a very struggling position. Jules saving the ball away, but they might be able to get it through. Not a strong enough hit. Sirix looking for the shot. Will almost find the second. Now over to Siki, who won't be able to hit the backboard, but hits that back wall. Kami clears it away. Sirix now meets the ball, trying to slip through. Delusion actually on his tail. Siki doesn't get it past CJ. And again, the ball for Legacy Esports. He's not finding enough control for this 1-2 pass. It's getting intercepted. It's getting interrupted. And Tainted Minds look like they are finally finding their form in this series. Is it too late for Legacy? This is their moment.
Legacy Esports have made comeback after comeback in regular time. They just need to finish this one off. They just need to hold out. But they're not known as the team that likes to play from behind.
Siki actually ran out of boost there, so you saw he was trying to struggle to recover it. Sirix now centered here, has 12 boost. Is it enough? Was not able to find the ball anyway. Centered again, Jules away. Over to Delusion now. Delusion missing the ball, but Sirix gets it. Kami puts it upfield. Siki waiting for the pass from Delusion. Playing it super slow. Legacy looking for the passing play. Delusion takes it himself. Gets it past all three, but the recovery's already happened. Legacy Esports still able to push down the field. The ball trying to get centered, but it is just getting taken away by Tainted Minds. 2 minutes remaining.
They've got plenty of time. Both teams just want to get the next goal at this point. Looking to try and take the lead. As for Legacy, just tying it up is all they really want.
Good saves from Sirix. Delusion. Now watching him. Jules. CJ now. Over to Kami. Kami's waiting center. Delusion. Hands it off to the side. Jules now. Great pass, but unfortunately it was a little bit too high. Kami tries to recover. Bounces the ball. Sirix in defense. Jules waiting patiently. Legacy struggling to get it past that halfway point right now, but here's the play. Siki now after the clear from Delusion, I believe. Sirix waiting on the midfield. Delusion, the pass again with the angle. Kami in defense.
He's been getting so many saves. Kami is that defensive player this match, and he's been the one holding this lead for Tainted Minds.
It's the underdog story coming to an end. Almost a minute remaining. Tainted Minds still lead. Delusion's up for the ball. Off the backboard. Jules can't receive it. Sirix again. The pressure is really building.
He's cursed. He's for sure cursed. That's 2 in a row for Sirix, where he could have thrown Legacy right into the lead. And he just missed just by the hair of his chinny chin chin.
45 seconds remaining. Legacy Esports now have one play in the book. That is send Delusion down the middle because they're running out of so many options. The floor is flooding. And sometimes if you drown trees, they will die. 30 seconds on the clock. Legacy Esports. Is this the end of their Cinderella story? At the moment, it looks like it could be. Tainted Minds have come back from such a difficult position.
You can see the mental fortitude. It's just laying out. They're at a point now where with so few seconds left, they're just trying to get shots on net, but there's always going to be someone back. Jules should be that person. No, he lets it roll in. Jules just flipped past the ball, and Delusion gets the big clear into a huge goal.
With 9 seconds remaining, Game 5 looks like it could be in overtime. And that touch from Jules, that shot from Delusion, that'll be all it takes. 9 seconds, both teams need to hang on.
And Delusion has been the one passing it up from downtown all the way through. There is 3 seconds left and one chance to make it.
Jules centers the ball out. Legacy, if they have an opportunity to really take it out, it'll be then, but they let the ball hit the ground, and we go into overtime for Game 5.
And all their life on the line. It goes down to 1 goal in this series. We knew this would be tight, but who would have ever thought it would come to this?
Huge clear from Legacy Esports, however, and that corner boost still remaining. Delusion centers the ball. Legacy have done it. They've created the upset. 13 seconds into overtime. Legacy are your top 3 Oceanic team.
The curse is over, and it's Delusion and Siki that break it. He's carried Sirix all the way into the top 3. They've taken down the RLCS international team, Tainted Minds. And That is a huge match.
Just as Tainted Minds came into the gauntlet, they were sent packing. Legacy have climbed from the bottom. Now they're looking at the Chiefs, and we have to ask, can anyone stop this tree from its growth spurt? Because a mighty oak stands in everyone's way.
I prefer redwood.
I don't care what it is some good hardwood. Courier Lord, Legacy Esports have just created the upset.
They definitely have. And they ran rings around them. And yes.
Yes.
Thank you for answering that. So, yeah, man, look at me.
Yeah, looking.
Do you see how hype I am? Like, you guys are like Tainted Minds, yeah. I stuck with Legacy. I'm so proud of myself for once. And Legacy...
Should you be proud of the team you just backed?
And I am. That is
It's
why
all
I'm proud
about
of myself.
you here. But Legacy just caused the biggest upset in Game 5 overtime. There were some tragic moments from, I think, both teams in that match that could have been heartbreaking. And it's actually Tainted Minds who have fallen down the ladder.
Yeah, and Jules would have copped it so bad in those comms.
He was he stepped up. He almost won them that last game.
But he's getting chewed out like right now.
But, you know, there were a couple of mistakes from Jules. That's fair enough. But, yeah, Jules actually stepped up. In games 4 and 5, he was a core part of bringing Tainted Minds to that position.
Yeah, Kami was playing the rock, and the two of them moved forward. And they had some great goals, especially Jules, as you said, stepping up to the plate.
It's surprising the two international players, CJ, and Kami, I'm calling them out.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to make fun of Jules because I felt they were the ones that made the mistakes. CJ almost costing them game 4, where Delusion got that 0-second overtime. Kami having some mistakes in defense. But I guess you also can't blame Kami because he's not used to being such the defensive player.
Yeah, forced into a different position. But I think, Sirix, the curse is over.
Yeah.
Like, this is the highest finish he had in the last, 18 months nearly?
In Throwdown history.
Yeah, definitely in Throwdown history.
But this creates the threat. This creates Legacy as a top 3 team. They now have but the Chiefs to make it into the grand final. Now, that is a big ask.
Just the Chiefs, yeah.
Yeah, just the Chiefs. That is a big ask, but that was just Tainted Minds. And Legacy, although only just scraping through, they beat Tainted Minds. So what is the difference in now beating the Chiefs?
Well, the Chiefs are a team that went international. They won series at RLCS. They took down NRG, and Pale Horse not quite so much. And Chiefs have kept the same roster, so I think Chiefs are a behemoth compared to
And
Tainted
Ghost.
Minds.
Don't forget Ghost. They took down Ghost.
Chiefs are really good.
They are good. I would say they're one of the best.
The best, maybe.
Yeah, definitely top 2.
I reckon they're the team of 2017.
I would say they won a lot of 2017, indeed.
All right, Chiefs are good. And so Legacy are going to have to make a pretty valiant effort to beat the Chiefs next. But the Cinderella story, the underdog story, does not stop there. They've come from the bottom. They're now looking at the Chiefs. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be like the Chiefs, you can go to ThrowdownEsports.com and check out all of our tournaments. We've got the Weekly Cup going on for Rocket League as well as the OCE Championship. However, up next, Legacy, they will not have a break. They will continue on their gauntlet run to see if they can continue to climb after this 3-minute break.